Back in 2022, MrBeast Burger looked unstoppable. 2,000 locations, every influencer pretending it was the future of food, and a delivery chain printing money so fast it felt illegal. But skip to 2025 and the whole empire is sitting on life support. The restaurants are gone, the hype is gone, and the only thing still standing is one lonely dining spot inside a mall in New Jersey that looks like it's waiting to be unplugged.
Where's MrBeast Burger? How many of them do you have?
Right now we don't have any physical, we have 1,600 virtual restaurants.
So you order it online and then they deliver it?
Yeah, so like, let's say you own a mom and pop restaurant. You literally just sign up, go through the course, you learn how to make all the stuff on a menu, and you just order our ingredients and our packaging, and then you just flick it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can start taking orders, and we let you keep a majority of the revenue. So it's basically like, it's a win-win for restaurants, especially when COVID first hit. It was like huge for a lot of restaurants because I was pushing it really hard back then. And like some restaurants, you were literally laying off people, and then they started serving Beast Burger, and some of them doing like 10 grand a week.
It all starts in December 2020. The world is shut down. Restaurants are barely hanging on, and out of nowhere, Jimmy drops a video titled, "I opened a restaurant that pays you to eat at it." He's outside a pop-up window handing people burgers and cash like it's completely normal. Sorry for the wait. Here's 100. Here's a free iPad. Here's a car. It didn't feel like a restaurant launch. It felt like a social experiment with a drive-thru, and everyone immediately lost their mind.
World's first free restaurant. And if that wasn't enough, I also paid people to eat at my restaurant.
We haven't even opened yet, and the police just told us they had to shut down a mile of traffic, and there's 1,000 cars in line.
Put it on up.
Yeah! I've never ran a restaurant before.
Money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you. You better come get a Beast Burger.
At this point, he announces MrBeast Burger. 300 plus locations on day one, exploding to nearly 1,700 ghost kitchens stretched across multiple countries, all of it running through Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever would take the load. And on paper, the idea actually looks genius. Instead of building real restaurants, Jimmy teams up with a company called Virtual Dining Concepts. They take his menu, shove it into whatever random diner or chain restaurant has spare kitchen space, and suddenly that place is making MrBeast burgers on the side. MrBeast brings the name, the menu, and the hype. The restaurant brings the kitchen, the staff, and the ingredients. The delivery apps connect the two. It was the perfect shortcut, at least until people started tasting the food. If you're enjoying this breakdown more than customers enjoyed their Beast Burgers, hit that subscribe button. At least this content doesn't show up cold.
Where's MrBeast Burger? How many of them do you have?
Right now we don't have any physical, we have 1,600 virtual restaurants.
So you order it online and then they deliver it?
Yeah, so like, let's say you own a mom and pop restaurant. You literally just sign up, go through the course, you learn how to make all the stuff on a menu, and you just order our ingredients and our packaging, and then you just flick it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can start taking orders, and we let you keep a majority of the revenue. So it's basically like, it's a win-win for restaurants, especially when COVID first hit. It was like huge for a lot of restaurants because I was pushing it really hard back then. And like some restaurants, you were literally laying off people, and then they started serving Beast Burger, and some of them doing like 10 grand a week.
On paper, it looked like Jimmy had just pulled off the smartest creator business move in history. MrBeast Burger was raking in around $100 million in revenue, and everyone treated it like he cracked the code on fast food. But behind the scenes, that's exactly where the meltdown started brewing. Because running a ghost kitchen empire only works if you actually control the product, and Jimmy was trusting random kitchens across the country to protect his brand like it was a family heirloom. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Beast Burger didn't have quality control. It had hope. Hope that the kitchen making your order knew what medium well meant. Hope that they'd read the recipe. Hope that they'd even care. And when you build a nationwide chain on hope, you end up with food that looks like it was assembled by someone who saw a burger once in a dream. People weren't just getting sloppy orders. They were getting boxes that made it look like the kitchen was speedrunning a cry for help. Raw patties, missing ingredients, buns that looked stepped on, and combos so cursed you'd swear they were fan-made parodies. And the craziest part, the entire brand was spinning out while Jimmy's quality control was basically him tweeting, "Guys, please stop sending me photos of these crimes." MrBeast built a fast food empire without building the part that keeps it from collapsing. One guy ordered the Impossible Beast-style burger and got something that looked like it was rendered on a Nintendo DS with the brightness turned all the way down. Another customer said the meal was so embarrassing they genuinely felt like they'd failed their kids. Then they learned it wasn't even cooked cooked in a real restaurant. It came out of a 7-Eleven back room like a side hustle nobody signed up for. And that was the core problem. MrBeast was the face, but the people actually cooking the food were random line cooks stuck in the ghost kitchen multiverse, juggling 10 virtual brands at once. Half of them probably didn't even know a MrBeast burger was supposed to look a certain way. They were just following whatever laminated sheet got taped above the fryer. Creators like Eddie Burback started digging and found kitchens running dozens of different restaurants out of the same tiny space. Health inspectors had no clue these brands even existed. There was no list, no tracker, no oversight. It was basically the Wild West but with patties. So when someone ordered a MrBeast burger, they weren't getting food from Jimmy's shiny fast food empire. They were getting whatever one overwhelmed cook could slap together while flipping through 57 Uber Eats tablets like he was trying to stop the stock market from crashing. Your burger wasn't crafted, it was assembled under duress.
I investigated secret ghost kitchens, starting off with Beast Burger, which according to Google Maps runs ghost kitchens out of gas stations, Thai restaurants, and even Mexican restaurants, and it turns out this was semi-true, as they were slinging Beast Burgers out of all these places, even inside of a Friendly's. After this I had Tender Shack, which is a popular Uber Eats chicken spot, and it turns out they were just making these out of an Outback Steakhouse. Even crazier is that it was the same exact chicken as they were using in their kids' meal. Pardon My Cheesesteak was up next, which is a virtual kitchen owned by Barstool employees, and I saw that it was served out of IHOP, and I thought it would at least be a separate cheesesteak from IHOP's cheesesteak, but turns out to be the same exact thing. The conspiracy ran even deeper though, because It's Just Wings, a popular DoorDash restaurant, is just Chili's wings repackaged, and Conviction Chicken, a popular Uber Eats restaurant, is just Friday's wings repackaged. Even Chuck E. Cheese has a restaurant called Pasquale's Pizza that runs out of there, and spoiler alert, it's the same exact pizza as Chuck E. Cheese's. And the weirdest part of all of this is that none of the workers that I confronted seemed to have any clue that this was happening right under their noses in their very own restaurants' kitchens. Very strange.
MrBeast actually did notice how bad things were getting. Every time someone posted a photo of a burger that looked like it survived a house fire, Jimmy would pop into the replies apologizing, promising refunds, doing everything short of personally driving to their house with a replacement. He even shrank delivery zones in some cities so the food would stop showing up colder than his Feastable memes. But none of that fixed the real problem. He didn't control the kitchens. He wasn't hiring the staff, training anyone, inspecting anything. He was locked into a contract with virtual dining concepts, and a contract doesn't care how many times you tweet, "I'm sorry, this looks like dog food." His entire oversight system boiled down to public apologies and crossed fingers, so they tried something else. If ghost kitchens were turning his brand into a punchline, then maybe a real restaurant could finally prove what Beast Burger was supposed to be. In 2022, Jimmy opened the first physical MrBeast Burger at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, and the turnout was absurd. Over 10,000 people showed up. Cops had to step in. The mall was handing out wristbands like it was a concert.
This is crazy. Bro, I can't even hear. Wow, this is wild. This is crazy. Why are there so many people here?
The wild part is that the one physical MrBeast Burger actually worked. It had a real kitchen, real staff trained specifically to make Beast Burgers, real branding, and an actual dining setup instead of a mystery delivery bag. And ironically, that spot is still alive in 2025. Business Insider checked it out this year and the food was solid, the vibe was fun, and the whole place felt like a giant MrBeast themed playground. Which tells you everything you need to know. When Beast Burger was under real control, it was genuinely decent. But once the brand got scattered across random ghost kitchens, the entire experience turned into a gamble. Sometimes you get an actual burger, other times it looked like the kitchen was trying to speedrun how fast they could make you question your life choices. MrBeast Burger wasn't ruined by the concept, it was ruined by being handed the kitchens that treated it like an optional side quest. In June, fans started noticing something weird. Jimmy's original Beast Burger launch video, the one that broke the internet, quietly disappeared from his channel. Someone asked if the brand was dead, and Jimmy finally said the quiet part out loud. He told them he was moving on to Feastables, that he couldn't guarantee the quality of Beast Burger orders, and that the ghost kitchen model was sabotaging his own name. He even admitted he'd signed a bad deal and that the company behind Beast Burger wouldn't let him walk away, even as it dragged his reputation through the mud. Those tweets vanished faster than half the others did, which tells you exactly how messy things were behind the scenes. In July, Jimmy went nuclear. He took virtual dining concepts to federal court and basically basically unloaded the entire clip. He accused them of serving food so bad it was hurting his reputation, prioritizing rapid expansion over fixing anything, and even trademarking MrBeast behind his back so they could squeeze money out of his own name. The message was simple: I gave you my face, my brand, and my audience, and you turned it into the internet's favorite example of what not to order on DoorDash. And honestly, from a moral standpoint, he wasn't wrong. Most customers don't know what a ghost kitchen is. They're not thinking about licensing deals or kitchen partners. They see MrBeast Burger, they get a cold, sloppy sandwich, and they assume Jimmy personally served them disappointment. But then the Uno reverse card hit. A week later, Virtual Dining Concepts fired back with a $100 million counter lawsuit. They said Jimmy tanked his own brand by complaining publicly that the bad reviews were just a loud minority and that his tweets caused the damage, not their kitchens. They claimed he wasn't trying to protect his reputation. He was trying to strong-arm his way out of the contract because he wanted more ownership. In their version of the story, Jimmy wasn't the victim. He was the greedy creator walking away from a thriving business. By 2025, the legal mess is still floating over the brand like a storm cloud nobody wants to deal with. Beast Burger technically still exists under Virtual Dining Concepts, even though Jimmy has very openly moved on and would probably delete the entire thing from history if he could. And while that fight was dragging on, the entire ghost kitchen industry started collapsing with it. The same Business Insider report that checked in on MrBeast Burger also dug into the bigger picture, and it wasn't pretty. Virtual brands were shutting down left and right. Customers were tired of mystery kitchen meals that tasted like side quests. Health inspectors couldn't regulate half of what was going on because so many brands existed only on delivery apps, not on paper. And Virtual Dining Concepts, they were still holding on to MrBeast as one of their last recognizable names, like a life raft made on cardboard. It's basically FaZe Clan, but with grease. The brand technically lives on, the logo is still floating in the digital void, but everyone who built it is either embarrassed, distancing themselves, or pretending it was never their idea in the first place.
Well, we haven't even gotten into the side companies or the side channels either.
No, the Beast Burgers and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Wait, first of all, where's MrBeast Burger? How many of them do you have?
So right now we don't have any physical. We have 1,600 virtual restaurants.
Oh, so you order it online and then they deliver it?
Yeah. So like, let's say you own a mom and pop restaurant. You literally just sign up. Go through the course, you learn how to make all the stuff on a menu, and you just order our ingredients and our packaging, and then you just flick it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can start taking orders, and we let you keep a majority of the revenue. So it's basically like, it's a win-win for restaurants, especially when COVID first hit. It was like huge for a lot of restaurants because I was pushing it really hard back then, and like some restaurants, you were literally laying off people, and then they started serving Beast Burger, and some of them doing like 10 grand a week. Not like in total revenue, so whatever, their cut was lower, but it allowed them to not have to like lay off part of their workforce or keep their employees and stuff like that. And so yeah.
And this idea came out of what?
We were approached by some company, and the more I thought about it, the more I just realized it was just a great idea. So we have a partner, basically a guy who's been doing restaurants his whole life. So actually that's how we started, because he owned 300 restaurants. So we launched with his 300 restaurants. And like that first day, they all sold out. They were having to like run to local stores to buy ingredients to keep up with orders. Like the Uber Eats like delivery lines were like out the door. It was pretty bad. So we had to like quickly expand up, and we've just been adding like 50 restaurants a week ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. And so now
That's
we're about
amazing.
to start doing our first physical restaurants as well. And that should be fun.
Your mom must be so baffled. A kid she thought wasn't doing jack shit in school. Now he's creating virtual restaurants.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah, it's actually insane. And so we've been doing it for like probably like 15 months now, and we're about to cross 100 million in top line revenue across the restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's one side business. What other
Yeah.
side businesses do you have?
So we just launched our snack brand. Just our first thing is a chocolate bar. It's just basically like only 4 ingredients, just a slightly healthier version of a chocolate bar. Problem is if you make things too healthy, which is what I've found with my restaurant, is I would love to wean people off like super unhealthy stuff. But if you, like we did the lettuce wrap, like where you just replace the bun with lettuce, no one orders it. If you go like too extreme on the healthy side, just no one cares. So it's like I found like the best spot is just to make things like 20% healthier, and then people still order it. If not, then it's just useless. So I wanted to do a snack brand, and I'm experimenting with that. So it's just basically a slightly better for you chocolate bar, just higher quality ingredients, a little bit less ingredients.
And what do you put in it?
Well, you can just pull it up.
There it is, MrBeast Bar.
I mean, like I said, it's not crazy healthy, but and we
yeah,
didn't.
it's got quinoa in it. Yuck.
I love that one. I have some out there. I'll have you taste test that. I think
I'm sure it's good. Quinoa mixed with chocolate. Hey, bro, they put chocolate on ants and people eat it. You know, I mean, everything with chocolate is good.
Well, and so our big marketing stunt for this, because everything I do, it's gotta have it be a spectacle. Is 10 random people are gonna get flown down to compete for a chocolate factory in a video. And yeah, so we're still working on building the chocolate factory. That's what I was doing yesterday before I flew out here.
So when you say a chocolate factory, is it going to be a real place that makes chocolate?
No, it's gonna be kind of like the Willy Wonka one, where it's like decked out. Most people, I feel like, are just going to take the money instead. They can keep the chocolate factory, or I'll just give them like $500,000. 99% of people, I feel like, would rather just take the money.
Yeah, because then you'd have to sell the chocolate factory.
Exactly, because because in Willy Wonka, it's not like it was a chocolate factory. It was like, they had the chocolate river and all that. So like that's what we're trying to figure out right now. Like we're literally building like a chocolate river, and I'm trying to figure out like how do you keep chocolate flowing and from going bad and like being fucking disgusting and shit like that.
And finally, as always, it's time to get the internet's verdict on the situation. I would never try something from a guy who has a fake smile and serial killer eyes. Good riddance, and glad I never tried it. They dodged the cold buns, the raw patties, the mystery kitchen rolle, and they know it. Jimmy blaming his partners for Beast Burger failing is really funny when he is on the record, more than once, saying the ghost kitchens get all the supplies and recipes from his company. Jimmy did say publicly that they sent the supplies, the recipes, the whole setup. So to a regular viewer, it looks like both sides are pointing fingers while the burgers keep showing up like a biology experiment. So all in all, MrBeast Burger launched in 2020 with massive hype, hundreds of locations, and over $100 million in revenue. But because everything was run through ghost kitchens, the quality was all over the place. Some people got normal food, others got burgers that looked like someone assembled them blindfolded in a gas station back room. Jimmy apologized constantly, but he didn't control the kitchens, and the company running it wouldn't let him pull the plug. He opened one real physical Beast Burger in New Jersey, and that one actually worked. Proving the brand wasn't the problem, the ghost kitchen model was. By 2023 to 2024, the customer complaints piled up. Jimmy deleted the launch video, admitted he signed a bad deal, and said the brand was hurting him. In 2023, he sued Virtual Dining Concepts for trashing his name. VDC responded with a $100 million counter-suit, claiming he ruined the business by complaining publicly. By 2025, the lawsuits are still ongoing. The ghost kitchen industry is collapsing, and Beast Burger as a brand is a zombie. Technically moving around, but it's realistically dead, with only one real restaurant left standing.